All right. Well, everybody, welcome back to Sandygate. We are hosting Kingsland Town, and I don't think we're going to win this match. We're hosting a team that's in first place. Kingsland has won 3 matches in a row. It's a professional team, and they probably going to be promoted this season. We are fortunate to be in 11th place. We're not going to be up there for long. We also kind of have the scrubs out. This is our number 2 team that's out against them. They are in pink, and we're kind of hoping that the neon effects of their pink uniforms blind them enough to allow us to sneak 1 or 2 past them, but it's probably not going to happen. And boy, we do a good job winning it there, but then nothing happens. It's always a bad sign when you win the ball and then the highlight just ends. It tells you that there's probably a problem with your offensive attack. And well, in this case, we did have a player that I was going to say we just gave the ball up. Now beat with this now over to Wiley. Back to beat. Newton beat 16 years old. Actually, he's a left back, but we're teaching him how to be a wing back. I think he'll be fine. Edwards kind of dives on the ground after nothing. That was not a very good idea, and we're fortunate that one didn't go in. They're going to call Cosgrave off for offside there for Kingsland Town. So that worked out a little bit better than it could have. But as I said, I don't have much faith in our abilities here in this match. We're definitely not going to get the better of it. Chris Salt does a great job winning the ball there. And then his pass over to Beat is absolutely awful. I mean, Newton Beat wasn't paying much attention anyway. We're still suffering from fairly poor cohesion, but we're doing a little bit better. Here's Wiley with the ball now, up to Beat again. Hunter. Back to Beat over to Wilson is a good pass forward for him, and he wins it. Sinclair now loses it, unfortunately, but there's Kavanaugh on the back to keep it forward. Here's Wiley now with the corner. And looking for Beat far post, doesn't quite find him, unfortunately. And this means that we're going to have to play more defense. But fortunately for us, they knock this one forward to just about nobody. And it's Blakely who wins it over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh forward for Wilson, who heads it behind him to nobody. That's our favorite game to play. We've seen a lot of that in Football Manager. Blakely here with the ball over to Kavanaugh. Over for Hannah. Hannah was doing well the last time he played and just had some bad luck. He's able to get behind the defense, and that's what we like to see. And if he keeps doing that, he'll be fine. There's no way that Cosgrave was offside. I mean, it's just such a ridiculous call. There were 2 guys miles behind him. I'm not sure why we have to stop play for that. That was a very strange call, and Salt ends up winning this here in the back over to Nielowitz. I feel kind of bad having Salt play on the the Scrubs team, but we do need some presence and some leadership, and that's what he provides for us, the vice captain. That time, I do think Cosgrave actually was offside, so we're doing a pretty good job setting up the offside attack. And I mean, if we're fortunate, maybe we could get a point out of this. Kavanaugh knocks that back for a corner, and here we go. So 25 minutes here into the match, maybe we're going to have some actual action here for a change. Barrett knocks his corner forward, and it's Danielowitz who jumps up and grabs it. He's been good in goal. He was actually one of the best 11 of the league in the most recent choosing. So he's doing okay. It could be worse. Let's see if we can win this ball back once again. And Amiso heads that one forward and over everybody's head. It does no real damage. Beat with this again over to Wiley. I don't know why we like passing it to Beat so much, but he's been on top of everything. Wiley again over looking for Wilson. It's Edwards who wins this. I mean, Beat's just a kid. He's 16. Right? Why are we passing it to this guy over and over again? And Barrett is called for being offside. I'm surprised the Salt wasn't given at least a yellow card for that. Whatever. So odd things happening here. This is lower level league play. This is what we like to see. And Sinclair tried to win that one, didn't do a good job of it. Here's Hannah with it, and he lumps this forward looking for someone or other, and doesn't quite work out. Wilson over to Sinclair, whose header goes just about nowhere, and Danielowitz does a very, very poor job trying to get that, but Cosgrave is offside anyway. It doesn't really matter. Danielowitz, I mean, they say practice makes permanent. I'd like to see him practice and get those reps in, but I'd like to see him get reps in doing the right thing instead of doing that. That was not the sort of practice that we want to see. I am happy with your performance so far. You're doing quite well. Nobody's having a really poor match except, again, for poor Theo Hanna. That's just sort of normal for him. I think that it's going to take a little while for him to really warm up to what he's supposed to be doing out there. Hanna looking for it again. It's another bad pass from him. Last time he played, since I was watching that match over and over again, trying to get the encoding right here, the last match that Hanna played, that was the one that we lost 3-0. He was forward beyond the defense numerous times, and he had numerous clear-cut chances at a goal, and he just wasn't able to get the shot in. And so because of that, we're going to keep playing this kid, and we're going to see how he does. I know that he's having a really poor match here today. We're going to keep giving him chances, though, because I think that he actually does have the potential to do well. And like some other well-known creators, I don't always trust what I see in terms of those match ratings. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I look at this and I think, yeah, but I mean, it's just a kid and he needs to get more game time. And I do think he has the potential and the ability to play at this level. I don't want to just get rid of him. Beat does a good job there, by the way, forcing another corner while I'm talking about Hanna, whose name hasn't popped up at all here. And it's Wiley who wins this header and knocks it over all the way to Hughes. Kavanaugh now wins this again, and it's Amisso who comes away with it, but Hunter wins it. And so we did have an attack. Didn't go very far. Kavanaugh forward looking for Wilson, doesn't get it to him. Sinclair does a poor job, and boy, how lucky can you get? How lucky can you get? So that ball goes in, up off the top. It actually crosses the line. Nobody sees it. And goal line technology says it's out, and Danielowicz just sort of grabs it like nothing happened, and it's still 0-0. There's Wiley winning this down to the bottom. Wiley back to Danielowicz. A board draw would suit us well. Danielowicz over to Wilson, and yeah, that's not happening. And here comes Cosgrave, and Cosgrave has rounded the keeper, and he has scored. And I'm not really that surprised to see that. We're down 1-0, and this, again, is not surprising. We did a very good job trying to keep them out, and we were able to do it for a while. The question here is, was Cosgrave offside? He may have been offside. It might have been a missed call. Danielowicz is not quite good enough to get in the way of that, and he was behind the defense. Let's take another look here. We're going to look really, really close, and yeah, I mean, that's just right on the line. It's a borderline. Could have gone either way, and unfortunately it went against us. And so we'll try again. Sinclair up to Kavanaugh, over to Blakely, down to Edwards, over to Kavanaugh again. Kavanaugh looking forward and brings it up right side. Does a very good job. He's in the clear. Over to Blakely, up to Wilson, and that wasn't so good. And but we're able to go back and win it in the back again. This is the thing. We're not being totally dominated, at least not yet. Hanna does a great job to head that one out. He finally does something right. And that shot is up and over and does nothing. And so we'll look around probably 70 minutes or so and see if we need to make another change or make our first changes or not, exactly what we need to do. Hanna's got himself sent off. Well, that was not very good, was it? And so now it's probably a pretty good time to make a couple of changes. We'll put Wilson over there. Hanna, yeah, that was unfortunate to think of all the faith that I had put in him. We're going to take Blakely off. He's doing a lot of nothing. Why is it telling me to put Seong in for him? You would think we'd want Badhawi to come on. Seong maybe wants to come on. We'll put him in for Iron Wilson. Wilson, by the way, makes me a little bit upset because we're paying him all sorts of money and he's not playing very well. Hanna is going to be fined. Of course, he's not making any money, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he's going to be fined at the end of this one, and that's really uncalled for. There's Barrett with the second goal there for Kings Lynn Town, and that makes it 2-0. And that's a little bit more like what you were expecting. I mean, Danielowicz is not happening. You're not going to be able to save that one. So we're going to lose this match. So much for thinking that it could potentially be a draw. Over to Salt, passes Kavanaugh, then over to Wiley. Wiley forward to Sinclair to Hunter, over to Salt again. And so we have some sort of movement, but then it just falls apart. That's Newton Beat down there, who doesn't really know what position he's supposed to be in. And that's kind of what we're forced to do. I mean, I looked around for wingbacks, couldn't find them. And that's why we're playing all these fullbacks in those wingback positions. It's kind of hard to get wingbacks for free. You can. I mean, we could get players if I would sort of lower my expectations and bring on a bunch of inconsistent guys or a bunch of guys who just don't have talent. But we want to have players who have a future. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. 2-0, though, against the leaders of the league is something that I think we can excuse. Now, if we can go through 10 more minutes without conceding another goal, that would be nice. Kavanaugh Kavanaugh gives up a corner for nothing. That was also a little bit problematic. That's not really what we wanted to see happen. Salt wins this here over to Edwards. Edwards will pull it down and bring it forward. So Edwards, again, over to Kavanaugh. And see if Kavanaugh remembers how to play the game. Passes to Salt, and Salt does get there in time, looking for Hunter and can't quite find him. This is knocked all the way back to Danielowitz, who falls on it for no real reason, and then takes too many steps and passes to Salt, over to Sinclair now, up to Seong. Seong moves this forward. Good attacking movement back to Badhawi. Badhawi over to Kavanaugh, over to Sinclair. Sinclair with it moves over to the center of the pitch, over to Salt. Salt forward looking for beat and finds him. Good job by Newton, who wings the corner. That was good. That was good. See, every once in a while we do something that's really impressive that makes me think, hey, you know, maybe we do have something here. We're down to 10 men and we're attacking. We have a corner, and Sinclair, unfortunately, not able to get onto that. But here comes Edwards, who knocks it straight back in. Sinclair looking for beat, and he can't quite find him. Kavanaugh now with this again. Up forward, looking again, I think, for beat, and he was way out of position. Sinclair then heads this backwards, and it's a little bit of ping pong, and it doesn't end our way, unfortunately. And Jones almost scores a third one there for Kingsland Town. So, again, we're fortunate to only be down 2-0. Barrett with another shot, but Danielowitz does make this save. He's had a good match. He's made quite a number of saves. And here's Edwards with this over to Kavanaugh, forward for Seong, who's going to be flagged for offside. And he is. Yep, told you. We only have a couple of minutes left here before whatever added time there is. And is it going to be Huge Barrett and Danielowitz with another save? I told you, he's doing a pretty good job. This kid knows how to play goal. Kavanaugh now over to Badhawi. Kavanaugh back to Badhawi. Over to Kavanaugh again. Edwards, Badhawi to Seong, and Seong just doesn't hold on to that. But then he goes back, wins it back, and then he loses it again. And this is popped up and forward. Salt knocks it off the defender, and nothing happens, and that's in by Jordan Ponticelli for his first goal of the season for Kingsland Town. And it's another 3-0 deficit for us. So I thought we were doing okay for a little while, but then this has completely exposed us here at the back. If you're looking for who to blame, you want to blame this guy here. Wiley is, I'm not sure what Wiley's doing. I guess you call it ball watching. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. He's just going to stand there in the back and figure that his presence will be enough to keep any unwanted shots from coming through. And here is Salt with the ball. Salt over to Badhawi, and so it's going to be another attacking movement for us. Badhawi with the passes backwards. Seong goes back and gets it over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh knocks this one back to Salt. Forward now for Hunter, who I think is onside, maybe. And it's over to Beat, looking for Seong, and unfortunately it doesn't go in. That was almost an own goal, by the way, at Misso. It doesn't look like their keeper was ready for that pass. Seong over to Edwards. Edwards back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh to Salt. So we had no business even thinking that we would be able to compete in this match, but I think we did a pretty good job overall. Wiley to Beat to Hunter. I'm seeing a lot of good things that make me think that this team has some potential. Badhawi goes back and wins this over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh forward for Badhawi, who pulls it down, and they're going to say he was offside. I don't know about the validity of that call, and so it is. We've got just a couple of seconds left. They're telling me now to double team Josh Barrett. We could have used that before, but we win this. See, we're winning this in midfield. There's a pass forward to Hunter, and he's been pulled down by Misso, and they're not going to give him even a yellow card for that. Seong now here, and this is going to be the final kick of the match. And he's looking for Kavanaugh. He's not even close to it, and that's the end. That's all she wrote. I think that we did a sort of a valiant effort. We had an XG of 0.03, so maybe so much for that. But we did have 50% of the possession, and though we didn't have a single shot on target, we did as good of a job as I think you'd expect. We lose this one 3-0, but it could have been a lot worse. I don't think we'll finish in last place. Hopefully that will mean the board allows me to keep my job. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.